Hey, it's Soleil, and this is episode 156 of the Orange Pill Investor, and it's Friday, it's roll day. But before I get into that, I would like to address the but my unlimited upside shit talkers and just give a little quick peek at the type of returns that are still possible even when you're limiting your upside. So this is me selling covered calls, and in a month, my account's up 30%. And this is just a small account. So this strategy can absolutely be done in a small account versus a large account. I think this one actually is probably done better than my large account, because my large account is mostly MicroStrategy, and MicroStrategy in the last month is only up 10%. So, but MicroStrategy is up, down, up, down, up, down. So you can totally cherry pick your stats however you would like. Like if I want to see MicroStrategy down 10%, I guess I can go to 3 months. In a week, it's down 10%. For the year to date, it's up 118%. So I don't think, what's my... so my main account is all over the frickin' place, but that's not even the point. The point is just to demonstrate that limited upside does not mean no upside. And I'm perfectly fine with 30% in a month. And if your buy and hold strategy or your dividends or your frickin' index funds are up 30% in a month, and that happens, more regularly than what I'm doing, by all means, drop your P&L in the comments. And, but people think, oh, unlimited upside, what about unlimited upside? And they think it's just like a mic drop or a dunk or just an easy button, I win, checkmate moment against covered call sellers. But I think it's just something that they've heard someone else say, and they just throw it out there. They just repeat what they've heard because it's just an easy way to ignore the strategy without actually having to try it and see how, and doing a fair comparison against whatever the hell it is they're doing and fits their biases, all of that good shit. I think it's clearly obvious to me when I talk to other option sellers that they feel the same way when people say, oh, well, what about unlimited upside? You're sacrificing unlimited upside. You'll get wrecked one day. And then it's obvious to me the people talking shit about it, like they just clearly haven't done it. They haven't tried it. And there's some really brilliant investors. Like I've been obsessed with watching Chris Cole's videos, and he's got this whole dragon portfolio approach, and he's got like, it was kind of pre-Bitcoin days, but he's got gold in there, which I assume you would want to replace with Bitcoin in the modern version. But somebody who's sophisticated like that can put together something that might make sense. I actually listen to them. But if you're just parroting something that you think, you're just repeating like Warren Buffett quotes and a guy who basically stood close to the money printers his whole life, and yeah, I guess I'll come right out and say it. I don't think that somebody, the average investor taking his advice, is going to get the same returns if you don't have the kind of positioning that somebody like a Buffett has. But here's the other thing. So the unlimited upside folks, I guess they all imagine that they're super traders, and they would have ignored NVIDIA from 2000 to 2022, and they would have bought this 1350 right before it ripped 100x. Like, this is the unlimited upside that I think people imagine that they're going to get, and they're not going to, because, and even if they do, is that even a brag that you bought NVIDIA at $3 a share in 2020 and you got no returns for 20 years, you sat here, and I guess you got some returns here, but you were probably happy to 10x your money. I bet you sold here. If you actually held NVIDIA since 2000, you sold this shit so fast, patted yourself on the back, and then when it dropped to 1350, did you YOLO again? I don't know. I doubt it. But that's what people imagine. Their fantasy world is, I'll buy it at 13 and it'll go to 130. That's what they think. And then, you know, that will happen in just, that's September 22. Hell, that took 9 months. Yeah, 9 months to 100x. So would you have sold at 50? Would you have sold at 90? Would you have sold anywhere? You probably wouldn't even have collected this whole 100x anyway. Or if you did, you know, if you had MicroStrategy when it was here at 27, you probably didn't sell it, well, it was like 2K. You know, you probably didn't sell at 2K either. So then you just rode it all the way down and lost half your gain. So I don't really know what these unlimited upside super traders are talking about. What I assume that they mean is they're going to just work their whole lives, 9 to 5, be a workhorse, and then when they're 65 years old, they will have these 1,000% gains, and now they can retire and play golf, I guess. And after 3 back surgeries, they probably can't even do that. So anyway, I spent way more time dragging the buy and hold folks and the unlimited, you know, the limited upside critics. I didn't really mean to drag it out this long. I could have said all that with fewer words if I only had more time. But let's get into it. Let's roll. The positions. Let's start with the main account. And this one is this is one of the trades that I'm mirroring. I'm doing a, you know, basically copy trading one of the traders that won the 100 shares. So they went ahead and got 100 shares of HUT, and we ended up rolling out to the 726. So this is good to go, and for like 2 or 3 more weeks. We'll just sit and watch this and make a decision on what to do with it later. And then this 721 put, I think this is one of the other ones. They went ahead and sold puts. Instead of buying the shares, they're selling puts in HUT. And that's perfectly fine. It doesn't really matter which direction you go in. The returns are probably going to be very similar. So we already rolled this HUT put out to 1150 for next week. So this is good to go. This is not expiring today. These are the 100 shares that are the collateral for this covered call here. And so let's just jump down to Mara. I bumfuggled this. So I only sold 1 covered call last week instead of 20. And I got paid like $20 for the 1 contract instead of $800 for 2 of them. And then I ended up, I think it was like on Wednesday, the Mara had dropped. So these calls were worthless. And that's when I noticed it. I was like, oh, let me roll these and get some extra premium. So I rolled this 1 contract for up from like, I think it was like $3 or $4 left in it, and got an extra $15 of premium. But that's when I noticed that I couldn't do it on 20 contracts. I could only do it on 1 contract. So I kind of screwed myself out of $800 last week on this trade, but it could be an indicator that I have too many positions. Before I started making these videos, my positions was like half. You know, I'm making this sacrifice for you all. So I probably wouldn't even be running this if I wasn't trying to demonstrate the wheel. And that's me not taking responsibility for my own actions. Anytime you can put the blame on others, you should figure out a way to do that. So anyway, let's go ahead and close these positions. Boom. Let's try to close them for 7. See if it works. Probably won't. Oh, did they all sell? All right, cool. All right, these 2,000 shares are my collateral. They have been freed up. So let's go to the 21st. I have to short a call. Your trading platform may say right call. It may say sell to open. In any case, I'm going to bake 10% call away. That's $2 a share, so that's 22. Let's see what returns I can get there. So that is about 1.5% for the week. So let me see, is Mara up or down? Mara is kind of trading sideways, down to 17, up to 22, 23. Okay, so 22 is pretty legit. So let's not repeat last week's mistake. Let's sell 20 of them, and let me try to get 32. Account is set to closing only, and this order has an opening leg. Account is set to closing only, and this order has an opening leg. Closing only, check failed. Okay. I'm thinking that my exchange is trying to punk me. Let me see what would happen if I try to roll these. 20% call away is going to get me to 1,800. Whoops, let me roll. I might have to put in a ticket. Let's try to sell 2 of these. If this gives me the same thing, account is set to closing only, and this order has an opening leg. All right. This is going to be fun. I think Tasty Trade wants me to log in and say that I'm monitoring these trades or something. So this is going to piss me off. I don't really edit videos, so I don't want to, fuck me. I don't want to start this video over. Let's see, trading, manage. Dashboard. Contact Tasty Trade support. Support options. Chat now. Launch live chat. Oh my God. My name. Account balances. Let's try that. I'll timestamp this shit if people want to skip. If you're watching this and you want to skip me dealing with the fucking help desk, then I'll timestamp it and you could just skip this to the next section. Account says set to closing only. Can't place trades. Ending in. All right. Let's see the response. Most of the time when an account is set to closing only, it means there's an issue with an unresolved suspicious login activity. Can you please search your email inbox for suspicious login activity? Or if it's more than a week old, you'd have to log out of everything Tasty Trade. Reset your password. Jesus. Okay. I wonder if it's my... Yeah. I have my server set to fucking Washington, D.C. That's a pain in the ass. All right. Yes, it was me. All right. Thanks. Got it. All right. Let's see if... Oh, Lord. Let's go back and try Mara again. 22. 20 contracts. I might have to log out and log back in. We'll see. Oh, no. This might try to sell it for 34. Okay. We're back in business. All right. I'll timestamp this for like... whatever the hell it is. Anyway, thanks for sticking around. If you're still watching, it's probably like those radio episodes where you get fired for not having dead space. I will say that I have enjoyed Tasty Trade's troubleshooting chat feature, so maybe that'll be good for giving them a shout out. All right. Sold that for what? I did get them to fill at 34. Nice. So 20 contracts, that's what's $680. So that'll work. There's 10% upside built into it. And let's keep on keeping on. So let's close both of these bad boys. I got paid, what, like $1,500. And let's try to close these both out for a nickel. Actually, let's try to close them out for 2. Probably not going to work. It's going to be completely stingy as fuck. Let's just go to 4. Maybe 5. Do I hear 5? Do I hear 5? Ooh. No, no 5. All right. Oh my God. This is exciting video right here. Me wasting time trying to save $1 per contract. All right, there we go. Got it filled for whatever the hell I got it filled for. All right, so for next week, if I bake $300 upside into this, let's see if I can get 1%. Almost. So the mid price on this is 13. So let me try to, okay, how far do I got to go to get mid of 16? All right, 1775. That'll have to do. So let's do 2 of them. And the bid-ask spread might be a little wonky on this one as well. Go down to 16. Okay, filled. All right, so got paid. What did I got paid? Where's MicroStrategy? All right, got paid 3,200 on those, plus the 700. We're up to 3,900 for the week on about I think it's about a $360,000 account. So already 1% for the week. And let me address this as well. So MicroStrategy is kind of down. So do I want to sell more shares and pick up another leaps? I think I do. I'm not dealing with these put credit spreads. They will either win or lose at expiration. So I'm going to go ahead and, so I already have 2 of these. I'm going to grab one more of the January 17th. And that's going to cost about, to the mid price, 142.50. Let's get one. And then I'm going to have to sell, if I want my buying power to remain constant, I'm going to sell like 15 shares. How much did I just pay? I paid $14,000 for that. Yeah, that'll be fine. 15 shares is close enough. Let me try to get less for that. Okay, gotta sell. All right, buying power is back up to where it was. When I've got extra buying power, this is basically what I've decided upon, is if the price of MicroStrategy is what I would consider down, then I'm going to try to buy leaps if at all possible. And if MicroStrategy is up and I want to buy, the leaps are too expensive, so I'm going to buy shares. So I know that sounds weird that I'm going to be buying shares of MicroStrategy even when the price of MicroStrategy has gone up, and I'm going to sell MicroStrategy shares when the price has gone down. That seems backwards. But since the long calls are leveraged, they're actually up more than shares when it's up, and they're down more than shares when they're down. So I'm basically buying leverage when it's cheap, and I'm selling leverage when it's expensive, and I'm doing the opposite with the shares. So All right, that's the point of that. MicroStrategy. This is the working order trying to collect 50% of the profit on one of my put credit spreads. This is my working order for trying to collect 50% profit on the other credit spread. And let's see, Riot is the one that I trade with my son, so I will ignore this one. I'll get on a call with him in a bit, and then we will roll Riot, probably roll it to the 12, the 1150 or the 12 for however much profit that is. So Tesla, I haven't really talked about Tesla. I'm just super psyched that the shareholder vote passed and paid Elon the money that he earned. And oh shit, the whole time my fucking picture, because I had minimized it to do the well, I'm just fucking up all over the place today. There we go. Boom. All right, this will be interesting. All right, so where was I? Tesla. Tesla has their main man still with the company. He did not immediately just walk out and quit because retail investors overwhelmingly voted for this, which makes sense. I think Tesla would do big things without Elon, but it'll be even bigger with him. He had a little bit of a say what moment when he said that he thought that the company could be worth like trillions or something. But yeah, I have no doubt that all of the companies that are above Tesla on the market cap right now will be below Tesla in 5-10 years. So bookmark this video and we will revisit that statement. Not financial advice, of course, but I will probably end of 2025 be taking some of these MicroStrategy profits and loading up on Tesla and rebalancing depending on how MicroStrategy and Tesla are doing. But I've got 400 shares, so I can sell 4 covered calls. I've got 2 in the money leaps. That means I can sell 2 more covered calls. So let's close this position and pay $9 a pop for those. Let's close these 2. Shouldn't cost much for these. Yep. All right, let's try to collect 1% off of a 179 price and 1% off of these $50 leaps. So, short calls. I can get 1% right here at 187.50. That is $8 a share. So what is that? 4% call away value and 1% premium. So let's try to squeeze an extra penny out of these. And we'll do 4 of them. And let's get the other ones working. Those were worth $50 each. So 1% of that is going to be right here at the 200 strikes. So much more upside built into this one. And let's get a fill on those. Did the others fill? Yep. And then I also have these leaps here. I'm kind of okay with these. This is already like $8,000 worth of, actually $9,000 worth of leaps. It's about 2% of my portfolio. Yeah, so I'm gonna stand pat there. and I used about $4,000 worth of premium to get these 2 MicroStrategy leads. So I did add to my long position. Spent like what, 28,000 on these, and I think I collected, yeah, I collected 1,500 shares. But this is a margin account, so I really only got credit, half credit for these. So anyway, bottom line is the delta on these. So I picked up 50 delta, and I only sold 15 delta because I sold 15 shares. So I added 37 delta, long MicroStrategy to this portfolio. And this is actually starting to make me a little bit nervous, because 2 of these bad boys is 28 and another 10, 20, 48. So that is about 1/7 of the portfolio is in long calls. So this is a little bit above what I'm comfortable with, but I feel like I have to get as long as possible on MicroStrategy over the next couple of months before Bitcoin just rips, and I never know when that's going to happen. So I do have some reserves that I can dip into if MicroStrategy crashes and I have to cover a margin call. But let's get into the 5K account, which I'm glad to report is finally up above 5K. I bought miners when Bitcoin was at all-time highs. So within 2 weeks of starting the 5K challenge, I had turned it into like 3K. So, but that's a testament to the strategy. I just don't panic. And when the shares recover, like I bought Marathon when it was at 20, and then it was down to 14. So it had crashed like 25. And it just doesn't matter. The down plan is the same as the up plan. So I just keep building some 10% upside in there, collecting premiums, adding to positions, and it all works out in my experience. All right, so expiring today, HUT, covered call, sold it for 11, and HUT is actually over 11.5, so I'm going to have to pay to roll this, which is fine. See if I can get a fill here. Yep. Okay. Paid $30 for that. Sell for next week. Try to get 10% call away value, so to either 12.50 or 13. If I sell the 12.50, I can cover that $31 I just paid plus a nickel. So let's just do that. Well, the price just fluctuated on me, so I basically just broke even on that. So broke even on that roll, but I built in another 80 cents of call away value there. So happy with that, no biggie. I've got 3 covered calls to close here. Only have to pay $1 for each of these. So selling for next week. Same as I did on the other account. I'm going to shoot for the 22s. Let's do 3 of them. Collect 1.5% on each. Might have to drop this by $1 if these don't fill. Nope, got him. Got him. 10% upside built in and collected 1.5% premium. Riot is the only one left. 1 contract, buy it back, $2. Done, diddy, done. next week. Uh, 1% colorway would be to 1170, so I got to either do 1150 or 12. Let's sell. Let's sell the 12. I'm not going to get greedy this week. Collect 1% with a little over 10% colorway value on this one. I know Kerrisdale declared war on the mining stocks, and no promises, but I would love nothing more than to see them get completely wrecked on their shorts. Riot may just be the first mining stock that they target, but if companies shorting your stock scares you, you know, trade something else, I guess. All right, it's just that easy. I could have rolled these all, you know, much shorter period of time if that's all I was here to do, if I wasn't making a video, if I didn't have to contact freaking customer support. So those were fun times. And if I wasn't spending time ranting about people criticizing my strategy, leave my strategies alone, homie. All right, leave it there. Happy Friday. Friday's roll day, best day of the week. All right, be good, y'all.